The upcoming weather pattern over the next couple of weeks is going to be extremely concerning as latest models continue to indicate a parade of strong, intense major snowstorms, blizzards, followed by extreme cold Arctic air coming out of the north. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down all those details storm by storm. Now, taking a look at the latest HRRR here on our next major snowstorm coming for the Great Lakes and the Northeast. So this is for Saturday morning on the 8th of February, and what you're looking at here is the composite reflectivity forecast. So the blue colors is where it's snowing. If you are seeing pink colors right here, that's where you have some freezing rain. Green areas is where it's raining, and then this beige color is where there is sleet. So moving forward here, you can see how this storm evolves, especially for Michigan, throughout the day on Saturday. In fact, northern Michigan could be looking at moderate to heavy snowfall for late Saturday morning into the early afternoon hours. Okay, and then over Wisconsin, the snow will gradually taper off by the afternoon hours of Saturday. This is going to be a fast-moving system. But northern Indiana, northern Ohio, like Detroit, that's where you have a wintry mix. Anything between a wet snow to sleet and freezing rain. I mean, Indiana has had too much of this already, as well as Ohio, Pennsylvania, and you're getting in on another crippling ice storm yet again, especially for Pennsylvania, is where most of the ice is going to be the biggest problem. Now, by Saturday evening and the overnight hours here, this is about for 10 o'clock p.m. Look at the snow rates here. Lots of blue here on your screen over downtown New York. In fact, New York City is under a winter storm watch for up to 8 inches. Actually, wait, 5 to 8 inches of snowfall expected there. New York State, upstate New York area, you're looking at a little bit of snow there coming down. Not as heavy as, say, New York City, but nonetheless, snowstorm is headed your way. And then over here in Pennsylvania, like Reading, Pennsylvania, Allentown, you're looking at sleet, freezing rain. Another ice storm is coming to your location. So power outages, a major power outage event is anticipated with that as it moves continuously off towards the east, and you still get these impacts. Now, of course, when we look at the extreme northeast, so let's go to that. You can see the snow is going to be coming down pretty good here in Boston, Massachusetts. If you're in, say, Connecticut, if you are in, say, Rhode Island, Cape Cod, you're looking at a rain-snow mix there as that winter storm moves off to your east. And it looks like by Sunday morning, it's going to be a lot better. Conditions will dry out only for our next round of snowstorms come. Now, when it comes to the snowfall totals with this next snowstorm coming for the weekend, this is a look at the latest HRRR with those snowfall totals through Sunday morning. And what you can see here is across Minnesota and Wisconsin, anywhere between 4 to 8 inches of snow is anticipated. Northern Michigan, here you're looking at about 5 to 8 inches of snowfall. But wow, it's going to be in New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts, as well as down to New York. You're going to get a ton of snowfall with this winter storm. Anywhere between 6 to maybe 12 inches of snowfall coming in a matter of, say, 24 hours. So there could be some blizzard conditions because of the rate of heavy snowfall coming down with this winter storm. And there's only more behind this. We're looking at numerous intense, life-threatening snowstorms and blizzards coming after this winter storm comes through. Now, another concerning aspect to this winter storm will be the amount of ice accumulation, especially over northern Indiana, northern Ohio, much of Pennsylvania, into West Virginia, as well as portions of Maryland and southern New York, where we get that rain-snow transition line where we may get some freezing rain and sleet in between. And these numbers are pretty concerning, especially over Pennsylvania, where you might see anywhere between about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of ice. And remember, freezing rain is super cold raindrops that are not frozen in the air. So once those raindrops hit a surface, like a mailbox, power lines, tree branches, your car, your sidewalk, your railing, this instantly freezes upon contact, what we call flash freezing. And it is this that's going to lead to a lot of those power problems because sleet is basically ice pellets falling from the sky. They hit a surface, they bounce off, they don't cause a lot of problems. But freezing rain, on the other hand, it hits and it sticks. And once it accumulates enough, we run into those power problems. And that's what this is telling us right here. Across northern Indiana, Ohio, between about 5/100ths of an inch to maybe 1/10 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch of ice. That's enough to knock out power to a great population. The sleet totals are also looking a little concerning for the same areas that get the freezing rain, especially for Pennsylvania. And again, what sleet actually is, it's ice pellets. So the raindrops freeze in the air because the colder layer of air at the surface is deep enough and cold enough to where these liquid raindrops freeze in the air and become ice pellets once they hit the surface. So that's why sleet is not as big of a problem when you think about it versus freezing rain. But yes, can cause a lot of problems on the roadway, such as slick driving conditions. So you can see anything in orange here has the chances of seeing some sleet, anywhere between about 1/10 of an inch to maybe about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of sleet, which again is enough to cause some air travel and road travel problem. Now that we talked about the Saturday into Sunday winter storm for the Great Lakes and the Northeast, it's a good idea that we look ahead into the future for other intense major winter storms that are coming. Big time snow, blizzard conditions, much colder air also coming along with these winter storms too, and the threat for severe weather for the deep south, such as Tennessee and areas to the south. So looking at the European model now for the extended forecast, this is for Monday, and there is another big winter storm coming, developing in the high plains. You can see it here that I circled in black. We have some moderate to heavy rainfall across portions there of Oklahoma, northern Texas, and then on the northern side where that colder air that comes out of the Arctic, coming out of Canada, is going to meet up with this front, and we're going to get some heavy snow and some heavy rainfall, especially along that boundary. So when we move this into motion into Tuesday morning, you can see that snow is intensifying over Missouri, and in anything in between, we're looking at some freezing rain and some sleet accumulations within where that stationary boundary sets up. And then to the south of that, that's where the rain is going to be coming down pretty hard. Wait until you see the total rainfall accumulations over the course of 10 plus days over Tennessee and portions there of say, if you are in Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Okay, so for your morning commute could be a dicey one, especially over southern Indiana, Kentucky, the Ohio Valley, as well as portions there of West Virginia. And this is going to continue to be a thing. Not as impactful, I guess, for the Northeast here. We're looking at some light to moderate snowfall accumulations with this second system, but lots of rainfall for the deep south. But this is not it. Okay, that system is going to roll through before a third impulse. A third one comes in. Look at this. This is not good. Very active conditions with this one leaving off to the east, another one developing over the deep south into the high plains. Everything comes from California, and then it goes this way into the Northeast. This zonal flow is problematic this time around because you want warm air coming off the Gulf. Remember, warm air likes to go north, cold air likes to go south, and there's a battleground here. And if these air masses meet in the right spot with upper level dynamics, we could be there's typically extreme snowstorms and severe weather events that typically arise from that. So this is Wednesday morning for your morning commute. Very dicey for both Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. And this is going to be the thing all the way into Thursday. Another massive, intense winter storm for, say, Indiana, for the Ohio Valley. Another crippling ice storm for Pennsylvania, as well as portions there of Maryland into southernmost New York. So this is a storm that all eyes are on deck. And not only that, do you guys realize something? There's another intense atmospheric river storm coming for California also. So yes, this is going to be a very active period for Wednesday, for Thursday especially. 2 winter storms happening at the same time. One for California, for the higher elevations, intense, insane snowfall totals up there. Now by Thursday afternoon and evening, leading up to Valentine's Day on Friday, very heavy snowfall continuing across the Northeast with a big winter storm and heavy rainstorm for southern and central California. This could be one of the wettest storms in a long time that California has faced. So yeah, that's on my radar to really watch closely in my home state. And of course, over here in the Pacific Northwest, looking at additional snowfall as colder air comes in out of the north. Now, that same system is going to be very impactful because it's going to be impacting Arizona, the Rockies, and unlike other systems, this system is going to be developing in rapid fashion once it gets into the high plains and the northern tier and the upper Midwest. Unlike other systems like atmospheric rivers, they mainly impact the western half of the nation, and they really don't do much under a zonal flow like this. But we do have dynamics that get involved here with a deepening, amplifying trough over the Rockies and the desert Southwest. So that leads to a dynamic situation on the other side into the high plains with a very big winter storm, very heavy rain, and the potential for a significant severe weather event for the deep south. Very dynamic situation. You could even see the jet stream really nubbing down here in the deep south, and you get this flow regime that takes place. Divergent flow aloft here on the right or the left exit region. That's going to lead to dynamic lift and really good snowfall producing on the northern side. And look at that system. Holy cow. By Sunday morning, the 16th of February here for Valentine's weekend, man, it's looking bad. Big time snowstorm, big time ice storm for the Northeast. This is really far out. Not trying to laugh here, but man, this is a big system. When we look at the 12Z run from yesterday, this is very consistently showing up in recent model runs from the Euro. In fact, the last 3 runs, it's literally there. It's very big consistency in the last 3 runs. So keep that in mind. This has a low to medium confidence for right now because we are, after all, 8 to 9 days out. But boy, if this verifies, and I cannot say it enough, this is going to be the snowstorm of the winter season, the strongest, most intense winter storm that we have seen in nearly a couple of years. This would bring damaging winds, blizzard conditions for these areas throughout Valentine's weekend. And then after that, another winter storm. Man, these just keep on coming. I mean, just does not end. It really doesn't. And then after that, things should hopefully simmer down. But until at least I'm thinking here through the 20th and the 21st of February, we're looking at intense multiple snowstorms and blizzard conditions along to go with crippling ice storms for the Great Lakes and the Northeast. Now, the snowfall totals over the next 10 to 12 days are insane. Especially for the Northeast, we're looking at 3 to 6 feet of snowfall over the course of literally 10 to 12 days from now. So through the 18th of February here, big time snowfall accumulations over the Northeast and the Great Lakes. For the Intermountain West and for the Pacific Northwest, we're looking at as much as 5 to 10 feet of additional snowfall. In fact, portions of California could be looking at 200 plus inches of additional snowfall to come over the next 10 days. That's going to lead to more additional avalanches. Below the snow line, more heavy rainfall, possibly a foot or more of rainfall, is going to lead to more additional landslides and rock slides in these areas. So really concerning weather pattern is setting up, unfortunately, for much of the northern half of the nation. And when we look at this from the European ensemble forecast, all 51 different members to make the ensemble showing at least 1 to 3 feet of snowfall over the Northeast. That is pretty alarming from an ensemble standpoint. We're looking at more than 6 inches of snowfall over Indiana, the Ohio Valley, if you are in Wisconsin and Michigan, and then possibly a few feet of snowfall or more over the Intermountain West, especially for California, could get the most snow out of this, possibly on this run showing 60 plus inches, but that's over the next 10 days. When we forward this into time, we're looking at more additional snowfall, and man, I cannot get my head off of the Northeast because of how much snowfall is expected there over the course of 2 weeks. Even the national blend of models here, the NBM, this is what the National Weather Service offices use typically, and look at how much snowfall is coming. This is the 10-1 ratio snowfall totals, I believe that is. And look at this. For Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, anywhere between 3 to 4 feet of snowfall is coming over the course of 10 plus days. For the Intermountain West, you are looking at several feet of snowfall over the next 10 days. So yes, good news for a lot of ski resorts in the higher elevations. You're going to love the next 10 days. But it's not just the snowfall and ice amounts that I'm very concerned about. I'm also really concerned about on how much rainfall is going to develop over the southeast, such as the Ozarks and the Appalachians of Tennessee, including for California is on this as well, but still California taking the cake with the most rainfall. This is a look at the national blend of models, or the super blend in other words, and my gosh, the Appalachians here is just going to get devoured by over 6 inches of rainfall. Some areas here in northern Alabama, northern Georgia could get as much as 10 inches of rainfall, almost a foot of rainfall in the course of literally, in the course of 10 days. That's about 1 inch to 1.25 inches a day on average. You're getting rainfall amounts. Even so, there will be breaks, a few breaks in between the rainfall, but when you average it out, man, that is pretty concerning. We are looking at some pretty serious flooding in these areas. And then, of course, over the Intermountain West of California. Now, for the Intermountain West, anywhere between 8 to 12 inches of rainfall is anticipated here. For the Central Valley, 3 to 4 additional inches of rain is anticipated for these areas. So there will be renewed significant flooding, debris flows in some of the burn scars, especially for Southern California, because yeah, Southern California is getting involved with this. Now, that is all that I have in today's video. If you found this video very helpful, informative, and detailed, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell notification icon, hit the like button. Yes, folks, come on, you got this. Hit the like button. Don't be shy. Be thrived. Okay? Hit the like button if you haven't already. And also share this video with your family and friends on social media. Check out my Discord server, and please take the YouTube channel survey today. There's a link in the description below this video. The more responses we get from that, the better I can make decisions for what you want me to do next. But otherwise, thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with you more tomorrow afternoon.